Chapter 82 We're Going Underground. As he walked calmly out of the National Archives, pilfered plans safely hidden in his underwear, Lieutenant Miller seamlessly slipped into the more comfortable persona of Zaunkonig. Acquiring the items required for his exploration kit was not going to be as straightforward in wartime as it may have been in peace. Walking into a local hardware store and exchanging them for hard cash was simply not practicable. This would be more a case of theft. All he'd need for most of it would be a hotel, or pub, a torch, a few pieces of untraceable, spare clothes should all be easily located. Rope, however, may be a bit trickier. Entering an alley to the rear of the Sovereign Hotel, the first hotel he came across, Zaunkonig quickly located a scruffy-looking door, most likely to be the rear entrance to the hotel. Sheer bravado was a trait of a spy. In fact, in many ways it was a requirement, and one that for Zaunkonig was no exception. After boldly opening the door, he walked straight in, and almost immediately came across the staff restroom cum break room cum cloakroom. A few hooks screwed to the wall provided a place for each employee to hang their coat and any items of clothing that didn't fit the corporate colors. A seat immediately below provided a place to sit with a hard-earned cup of tea after endless hospital corners and carpet beatings. As he reviewed the items before him, coats, overalls, hats, there was even a torch ready and waiting for him. As he considered how some poor soul would be walking home later in the dark, his peripheral vision caught a glimpse of something that only his subconscious initially reacted to. To be honest, it wasn't the dumbwaiter in the far wall that tickled his fancy, for it was simply a movable frame in a shaft that enabled items from a kitchen or laundry to be quickly and silently moved from source to destination. No, it was the ropes and pulleys providing the locomotive force that had excited him. As he pulled the weight of the carriage to the bottom of the shaft. To make his task easier, he celebrated the fact that in one stop he would have all he needed. 20 cautious minutes later he had secured the rope, clothing and torch and was walking back out the alley, immediately blending in with what people were on the streets. Crossing London to the first of his targets took 30 to 40 minutes. Everyone he came across was apparently as similarly driven to a specific destination as he appeared, and none paid any more attention to him than he was apparently paying them, though in reality he knew exactly how many and in what direction anyone within 80 meters of him was traveling at any time. From the map, the first target appeared to be located within a small piece of greenery, a little oasis of color that had somehow survived in the gray and brown of a city under siege to bombs released from thousands of feet overhead. The entrance he sought was nothing more than a metal grating a little over 600 millimeters square. It took only a few seconds to pull from its metal surround. As quickly and confidently as he had stolen into the hotel, he entered the shaft, pulling the grating back into place. The shaft, he found himself at the top of, would ultimately lead to a tunnel. The tunnel would lead to an apparent dead end which, when broken through, would be the start of a smaller tunnel that would get him to King William Street Station. As he carefully descended the wrought iron rungs that formed a ladder in the shaft, a maid in the Sovereign Hotel was shouting at the top of her voice, quite unprofessionally. "Where's the bloody dumbwaiter? Maisie, what have you done now?"